is our stories from children, but tonight is a very special night because, as well as the amazing Michael Kerins,
That's me.
we have Hala and her sister. You'll know Hala from the cafe. She's done food programs. She's told stories. She's done amazing work. And they're sitting in Gaza. So we're coming live from Gaza tonight. Before we're going live from Gaza tonight. Before, well, I'm not going to carry on too much, but I think Hala and her sister's Shasa story is the more important one to listen to, and incredibly important. So, Hala, I pass it over to you.
Hi, Mr. John. Hi, everybody. Thank you for
Please tell your story, Hala.
Okay. At first, we will introduce ourselves. I'm Hala Mudir Salim.
And I'm Shada Mudir Salim.
I'm 18 years old.
And I'm 19.
We are from Gaza, Palestine.
Nice to meet you.
Today, we will tell you a story about our life. The name of our story is
Dreams Are Destroyed by Reality.
Once upon a time, there was a simple, happy, stable family that lives in safety. My dear father taught us that we must always survive to achieve our dreams and choose what we love. He studied chemistry because he loves chemical experiments. It's like an adventure for him. And because of his passion for this profession, he had his own room in our house in which he continued his experiments and research. My father also encourages us in sports and hobbies because he loves it. He is good at swimming and riding horses. On weekends, he always takes us to the farm to teach us how to ride horses. However, he loves study and education, and he always tells us a successful person must be successful in all fields. And his greatest success in life is not their academic degrees. It's his family. And he always thanks God for having us with him. As for my mom, she taught us love and kindness. She is an example of all these beautiful values. She chose to become a housewife so that she could devote herself to us, raising us, teaching us. She always says that she is proud of us. Okay. You are now wondering what this story is and where the excitement is in it. But I want to tell you, gentlemen, that our life was a quiet, simple life until all our lives were turned upside down in one day and night. And we woke up from our rosy dreams to a harsh and difficult reality. Let the change begin.
The course of our lives changed from calm to chaos. Every day we return from school to find my mother, as usual, preparing lunch for us and serving it to us with all love, and waited for my father to come from work to join us and to give my little brother his chocolate, which he prepared for him like every day as a reward for his good jobs. But all of that has disappeared. As my father no longer goes to work, and my brother no longer asks for chocolate because he has changed. Yes, my 6-year-old little brother, who used to love playing all day with the neighbor's children, is not longer like that. He has become a sad child, and I feel that he has grown 20 years older. The future of a childhood in him are that he wants to play, but he cannot do that because the place is very dangerous. And he wants to draw, but we have neither paper, neither color. Our life has only two colors, black and white. My father has become busier than before, even though he doesn't work. But he has begun to take care for our grandfather and my grandmother because my grandfather fell ill. By the way, I forgot to tell you that we are a big family. We are 5 brothers. I'm the eldest. I'm 19 years old. I completed my studies this year. Everyone tells me that I'm calm and wise, and that's true. I acquired this characteristic from my mother. Unlike my sister Hala, who loves adventure like my father, I love reading books and novels, and I also love cooking. I love cats too. Our neighbor loves cats, and he have one, and I always play with his cat. Despite all that, I care about my study as my academic as well. Just I care about my professional life. I get the second place in Palestine in high school. I will never forget my family's joy and pride. I see all of that in their eyes. So I decided to follow what I love, like my father, and decided to study medicine because I feel that I will be a great doctor in the future, so that I can help children and patients. And because my homeland needs me. But on the 7th of October, everything stopped. My university was bombed. Yes, completely bombed. There is no university in my homeland. They said that we will need 20 years to rebuild the universities again in my homeland. So I was satisfied with my destiny. And what might happen with me is the same as many students in my homeland, until a friend of my father called a while ago and told him that there is a university in Egypt that accepted me with a full scholarship to study there, where what is the only required of me is to travel to Egypt. I felt happy for the first time since the start of the war. But when I asked about the price of arrangement for traveling abroad and learned that 6,000 per person was required, I felt shocked again and lost hope for traveling and studying. Okay. Until my father's friend called in Wednesday, to tell us that he wanted to help us to travel and he will reduce the price from 30,000 euro to 9,000 euro. Yes, 9,000 euro just to travel me, Hala, my mother, my sister Rahaf, and my younger brother Muhammad can travel to Egypt safely. But this offer are veiled and available until next Tuesday, just next Tuesday.
Oh, I'm Hala. I love tell stories and I love photography. And the film that I will show are made by me. I'm similar to my father in this habit. I love cooking like my mother. I previously made a video with Lucy in order to share a Palestinian dish, which is a grape leaves. And I also love swimming and playing football with my bro Tamer. In the end, the war came and I didn't practice any of my favorite hobbies. I hope to travel with my family and we will be saved and we will eat healthy food. Our life has been changed to catastrophe. Everything has become different. Even the youngest family members, my little bro Muhammad, when I asked him, what do you hope for in this life? He was shocked me and I was surprised that he wants to die. Yes, he wants to die.
Can you imagine that?
Can you imagine that? This is the last chance for us to travel and survive. So please help me. And I also want you to help my bro Tamer. I really want him to travel with us. He wants $6,000 to travel with us.
because he is 17 years old now. And his age should be 16 to travel with us with 9,000 euro. But because he's 17, he needs 6,000 euro per person for him. My father doesn't want to travel. He wants to stay with his parents, and he wants us to collect the money and travel safely. And he wants us to collect this chance to travel. So you are the last chance to help a Palestinian family to live safety and in a peaceful. Thank you for lending us your ears. If you find it in your heart to support us in getting back a piece of what life has taken from us, know that your kindness will not only transform our lives, but also empower us to pursue our dreams and extend a helping hand to others like us. Let's rewrite our story together, turning hardships into hope. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hala and Shata. This, amazing. And I see Lucy has put the Just Giving link in the chat. So if anyone wants to take that and share that with trusted people, remember each one of us can reach out to maybe 10 other people, and then maybe to 10 others. We won't put it on general release because we know the people are watching. So, but Hala, thank you. And thank you for doing us the honor of coming on our show.
Can I share a video of our life before the war and after the war? It's just 2 minutes.
Please do. If we technologically can do it, we'll do it. I'm sure Michael can wait another 2 minutes.
I want to share.
Please do.
Please let me. Only the host can share. Let me.
Waleed has to give us the powers, John. If Waleed is there, I'm not sure. You're muted, John.
Waleed, are you there? Can you?
Once before I wanted to get stuff shared and it didn't happen. I think he sets up this and goes to the pub.
Yeah.
Can I suggest that we share Hala's video on the page somewhere?
Yes, I think
on this page now.
Waleed is here.
Waleed's managed, so I think it's going to happen.
Hala? Do you want to share it now? Can you share it?
Okay. No, I can't share now.
I'll do it then. Hang on. No,
because only the host can share it.
Yeah, well, Waleed is trying. I got an answer, a yes, back from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Manuela, have you got copies of these films?
Yes.
Can we share it? Can we maybe have Michael do some stories and then share it at the end of the program?
Yes.
Hala will, and if it doesn't work, we'll still put it out on the site. So your films are on the World Storytelling Cafe site. So
there's a message coming. There's a message coming up, John, that Hala is now a co-host, so she can do this.
Okay, yes, I can.
Okay. You're not 20 yet, so obviously you work technology much better than we do.
How kind you are.
Okay, I want to share.
Yeah. Everyone's co-host. We're all co-hosts. This is an egalitarian society.
Can you see what I share or?
Not yet, not yet. Here we go.
Yeah, it's working, I think. Well done. Just need the volume up, maybe.
I can't see it yet.
Oh,
It came
no,
on
I
for a
can-
minute.
Can you see?
No. Do you want me to
No,
try, Ella?
you did for a minute. Manuela, can you see if you can?
Yeah.
Shame.
It's coming.
كتير. أريح أريح
I don't know. I can't find it now. Okay, let me stop
It-
sharing for a
to
moment.
your right on that screen.
No.
Have you lost the film?
On your screen, it looked like it was slightly to the right of where your cursor was.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
it's the 2-minute one that I'm trying to find.
Right.
Here it is, I think. She didn't send it. Alla, I haven't got the 2-minute 54 video. I can show a bit of the longer one, okay? And then I'll
Okay.
stop it.
How long is this one, Manuela?
This is too long. I'll stop it after 2 minutes.
أعطيهم إياه.
Thank you, Manuela. That gave us some idea.
And Hala filmed that herself. And
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a shorter version, but we'll make it available.
Okay. Well, thank you, Hala. And the link for, like I say, Lucy's put the link up for the
think that works.
GoFundMe on
Yeah,
the
that's
chat.
great. Yes.
And we'll put that on the World Storytelling Cafe chat.
Yeah.
Not the chat, the community page. Michael.
We're at can I just say we're at 700 pounds at the moment, and the aim is 9,000 euros. So if you spread it to as many people as you can, let's see if we can bring Hala and her sister and her family over, well, to Egypt. If she's able to get out, then she has a guaranteed job in Marrakesh, and her father as well. If he can get out of Palestine, they can work here for us until they find something better. So please just donate whatever you can. And it's pretty urgent because Tuesday is the deadline that they have to get the 9,000 euros. Otherwise, they don't think they have any other opportunities. It's very rare for them to get this, just because her sister is very, very clever, and the Egyptians would like to offer her this amazing scholarship. So please, please spread this as far and as wide. And if everybody gives 10 quid, that will be wonderful. Thank you. Sorry, Michael.
Thank you.
That's fine. I'm happy to yield. One thing that I got a message from Hala today on my private Facebook page. Hala, can I put that story out to some friends? But it will only be closed. It will just be soft touches, I know. Can I do that, Hala?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Who's saying yes, you can?
That's Hala said it.
Oh,
Just-
right. Thank you, Hala. Okay. Smashing.
I think that's the idea. If we each put it out to trusted friends, it
Yeah.
spreads the word rather than being on general.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael.
Okay. So
I know it's, it's difficult following that, but I'm sure.
yeah, you know what? When Dr. Watson retires and Sherlock Holmes is looking for a partner, I'm going to say, John Rose is, well, he's pretty elementary. He'll do the job. You're darn tootin', it's hard to follow that, John. Anyway, there was a lot of talk about cooking and food in that. So I'm going to tell you a story from Scotland about the finest baker that we ever had was a woman called Katie McCafferty. Katie McCafferty was a very hard-working woman. She lived at the top of a hill and walked down every day from her house until she came to her shop. She put a key in the door and opened it and prepared cakes and buns and bread and scones and cookies and all kinds of delicious stuff. And the people came and bought things. Sometimes by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she was sold out. So she would lock up and then walk up the hill, walk up the hill, walk up the hill, back to her house. And she did that day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, for years and years and years. One day she was walking down the hill, roughly about halfway. She felt a tug on her ankle. She said, "Oh, that's peculiar. What was that?" She looked to see if it was a stick, a twig, a stone, a piece of litter. Something had but there was nothing there. Nothing. Peculiar. Down, 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 into her work, opened the door, did all the baking, the cooking, the sailing, closed up. On her way back up at that exact same spot, she got a tug. The third time that happened, she was ready. She was walking very gingerly. She's a big woman, lumpy woman. She was a wobbler, and she was as elegant as anybody you'll see at the Bolshoi or the Royal Opera House at Covent Garden. She was daintily graceful. And she said to herself, "I'm going to see what this is." And then, just giving her the tug, she saw a tiny little fairy. Gorgeous. And she took this fairy up, and the fairy said, "Oh, don't put me in a jar and charge a penny, but look, please, Katie McCafferty, close your eyes and let me fly away." Katie said, "Why are you pulling at my clothes? Why are you pulling at my leg?" "Well, the king we're going to have a big party because the king is going to be 900 years old, and he wants you to bake the cake." And Katie said, "Well, just come into the shop and buy the cake. It's quite easy." "Yeah, but we don't trust people. We don't trust the humans. The problem is we don't even trust you, Katie. And we know that you and your kind will put us in a jar and charge a penny a look." "You'll put us in a jar and you'll charge a penny a look." "Nah, I won't," said Katie. "I don't agree with that. I'm not even fond of zoos," she said. "Live and let live. If you want the cake, come and buy it." And just then, a tree kind of opened its wee doors like this, and the wee doors became big doors, and the big doors became entrances. And she had to go down 157 golden steps. But because she's an ordinary person like you and me, and maybe even like Sir Louis, she wasn't allowed to walk there. So all the fairies came and lifted her up, and her legs were kind of floating like this. Her feet didn't touch the steps. And she came down to this grand hall. And there sat the king of the fairies with a crown on his head. And he said, "Katie McCafferty, I insist that you make a cake for my birthday." And Katie said, "Yeah, sure. Why don't you just come to the shop and buy it?" And the king said, and all the fairies said in a chorus, "Because if we come into that shop, you'll trap us, put us in a jar and charge a penny a look." "I won't," said Katie. "Well, you're trapped here until the cake is made." "Okay, why not? If that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do." Well, the king said, "Everything you need is here." And he showed the royal pantry. "Nah," she said, "definitely not. Don't use that. I only use fresh. I like an ebony spoon. No, no, I would never use that. Porcelain bowls for mixing. Sorry, Your Majesty. Everything I need is either in my shop or at my house. If you want the best cake I can do, it will come with the best materials and the best ingredients." "Well, what do you need?" "Well, first thing I need is I need my porcelain bowl. Now, I've got two of them. I've got one in the shop and one in the house." "The biggest one's in the house, so I think we'll go for that one. So can I go and get it?" And the king said, "Trickster, trickster, trickster. Trickster, trickster, trickster. You think that I'm going to let you go out of here to go and get a bowl? That won't happen. I'll send some of my fairy soldiers." And the fairy soldiers were sent to go to Katie's house. And Katie said, "Well, okay, be careful. Don't waken the dog." Waken the dog? Don't waken the dog. Dogs bark. Barking dogs make people look. If you're worried about being seen, don't waken the dog. So the king gave the fairy soldiers the instructions of Bamba, Wamba, whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't waken the dog. And off they went. And they were as quiet and as invisible as this. And then they came into Katie's house, got the big, beautiful porcelain bowl. As quiet as this, they flew back. They gave the bowl to Katie and she said, "Now I need the longest ebony mixing spoon. That's in the shop. You don't need to worry about noise there." Off they went. In the shop, there were 3 ebony mixing spoons. A long one, a longer one, and the longest one. And there was the longest one they were to get. And then they needed a whole host of ingredients. She wanted eggs that were mostly brown, but with some darker speckles, as many as could be got. She kept eggs, she kept hens at the house, she kept hens at the shop. Don't waken the dog. So the fairies all got sent. Despina Bumba, B-U-M-B-A. Do you not speak fairy, lady? Bumba Wumba. Woof, woof, woof. Bumba Wumba, woof, woof, woof. Bumba Wumba. Do not waken the dog. And off they went. They came back with brown eggs, mainly speckled eggs. And she cracked them in and started stirring them up. And she wanted feathers. Very soft feathers to dust her spoons and need them cleaned. Get the feathers from the hens at the house. Bumba wumba woof woof woof. Bumba wumba woof woof woof. Bumba wumba woof woof woof. And off they went to get the feathers. And while these ones were getting the feathers, others were sent to the shop to get previously sifted flowers. 3 enormous containers of flour that she had sifted already. And that was brought. And all the ingredients that you can imagine, currants, raisins, and butter. She wanted milk. Now, at the house, she had 3 cows. One cow had horns like this. One cow had horns like this. And one cow had horns like this. They're all good cows. Their best milk comes from 1 horn up and 1 horn down. 2 ups, good milk. 2 downs, good milk. Their best milk comes from 1 horn up and 1 horn down. On you go. Bamba wamba woof woof woof. Bamba wamba woof woof woof. Bamba wamba woof woof woof. Don't waken the dog. And all the ingredients came there together, more and more. And the mixture, this vast bowl was in and it was organized. And oh, she took cherries, full cherries like this, that would choke a fairy. And she said, they have to be halved. And I like to have my cherries with a silver fruit knife. I keep the best one in the shop. Can you send somebody for that? It is sharp. So the fairies very carefully went out to get the silver fruit knife from the shop. They were told which drawer it was in. They were told it was sharp. They handled it responsibly, and no fairies were injured in the making of this story. She got the cherries. She split them in 2. Got the cherry, split them in 2. Got the cherry, split them in 2. Got the cherry, split them in 2. Until, more than 100 cherries had been chopped in half and put into the mixture and stirred around and stirred around and stirred around and stirred around and stirred around. There was a nice smell coming in that place. And then she said, somebody has to go up to the house and light the oven. There's an oven here, said the king. And Katie said, Your Majesty, this is about, cooking is about chemistry and mathematics and the right temperature. That oven is, as we say in Scotland, for to wee. That is just a small oven. That oven, well, look at the size of the cake I'm going to bake you. It has to go into my oven, unless you want to bring that oven here. And all those wee wings will get singed. no fairies were harmed in the making this story. So every part of Katie was lifted up in the air. She's a big woman. Every piece of the cake mix was very carefully contained in that big giant porcelain bowl. The longest of the ebony spoons was brought. And Katie said, let's get this in. And in it went into the oven. And as it was going into the oven, she said a kind of little thing that good bakers say, a word of homage. And then she took the whole cake mixture in the cake tin and put it straight into the oven and closed the door. And she set a timer. And then she started making a noise in the house, banging things and clanging things. And the king of the fairies was there, and every single fairy that could be spared was there for the baking of the cake. And there was a bang and a clatter and a clatter and a bang, and then two bangs and two clatters, and then two bangs and one clang. And the king of the fairies said, be quiet, you're going to waken the dog. What dog? Said Katie. I don't have a dog. I'm too busy. I'm a businesswoman. I'm up and down this hill 4 times a day. I don't have time to look after a dog. The king said it. I knew it. I knew you were a liar. I knew you were telling lies. Katie said, I never told any lies. I told you I would not put you in a jar. I told you I would not let people pay a penny to have a look at you, I told you that. You didn't believe me. I said, don't make the dog. I never said I had a dog. If I said I had a dog, that'd be telling lies. I just said, don't make the dog. But there isn't a dog to wait. There isn't a dog to waken up. There's no dog here. Do you know what I think, Your Majesty? I think you believe what you want to believe. I'm telling you the truth. I won't put you in the jar and let people charge a penny a look, and I won't. But I'm also telling you, I haven't got a dog, but you believed what you thought I was saying. This cake's nearly finished. I would like to bring it out and let it cool, and I'd like to decorate it. What do you want on it? And he said, well, I would like 900 candles. And she said, I don't have 900 candles. Well, we can get them. Well, where? You can't go in. You won't let me away, even though I'm in my own house. And you won't let me go away, and the fairies can't go into the shops and buy them because, well, fairies can't do that because they'll get put in a jar and charged a penny a look. And the king of the fairies said, Katie, you're very clever, but you don't know everything. I'll get the 900 candles. And the 900 candles were brought there, and they were all a beautiful, glimmery, shimmery, golden shade. And they were in little golden cup holders, little beautiful little receptacles for the candles. And when the cake was cooled, and the whole house, not just the kitchen, the whole house was filled to the brim with the smell of cake. Oh, Lordy. That was delicious. That was delicious. That was delicious. Katie got icing, frosting, and covered the whole cake. Sides, top, and then she made little swirls, and then on each of these swirls, there were 900 swirls, she put a candle holder and a candle. 900 years old, Your Majesty. That's a very, very, very long life. And he said, I'm not even middle-aged. I'm not even middle-aged, said the king. Well, she said, next year, or whenever you celebrate your birthday, please just come to my shop and buy it. Because this cake costs you 3 gold. This cake costs you 3 gold coins. And the king said, I'm not paying 3 gold coins for this. No. I'll pay 4 gold coins for it because this is the finest cake I've ever seen. I'll pay 4 gold coins. And next year, we'll come and we'll do trade in the shop. But we'll come when nobody's there. Because we know that you won't put us in the jar and charge a penny a look. But we can't say anything else about your customers because they might. And that's the story of Katie McCafferty, Scotland's greatest ever baker. I don't know if I'm still able to share things. Am I able to share things? Yeah, there you go. So I want to share this here with you. This is Wee Tom, and most of you people here don't know Wee Tom. He's a little Tom Thumb character. In Russia and in the Ukraine, they call him Malchik Spalchik. In Germany, they call him Tom Pouce. Claire in France calls him, Tom Pouce in France. In Germany, they call him Daumling. He exists all over the world. And this is the story of him not doing what he was told when they went to the Easter egg factory. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a wee boy with 5 names. Thomas, Patrick, James, O'Neill. That was his granny, Mrs. O'Neill. She died. Thomas, Patrick, James O'Neill, Thumb. And as I told you, in lots of stories, they call him Tom Thumb, or Daumling, or Malchik Spalchik, or Tom Pouce, or Tom Palut. It doesn't matter. In my stories, we call him Wee Tom, and he is wee. He's that size, the size of my father's thumb. But he is not a fairy, a goblin, an elf, a sprite. He's not some kind of superhero that pulls his underpants over his trousers and flies through the air because he can't. Because like you, he's an ordinary person. In every Wee Tom story you'll get Uncle Dan. Uncle Dan is so big, so well built, so strong that the best artists and illustrators cannot put him into my books. You only see his shoulder or his ear or his hand holding Wee Tom like this. Uncle Dan and Wee Tom are the best of friends. Uncle Dan's sister is Wee Tom's mum. And she said that Uncle Dan could take Wee Tom out to the Easter egg factory where his pal Archie had a part-time job. And it would be Wee Tom's luck just to go and see the whole production of the making of chocolate, the cupping of the cups, the making of the cups, the wrapping of the cups, and the dispatch. And in these few days before Easter, where we are right now, although the Russians and the Ukrainians have just started Lent last Tuesday, Easter eggs are popular. And the factory was churning them out when Wee Tom got there. Well, he's only a wee boy, you know this, he's only tiny, right? His nostrils looked like the Millwall tunnel. They were huge big holes, smelling in that chocolate. Oh, he loved it. I find chocolate sickening, but he was really up for it. And he couldn't see. So his uncle lifted him up, put him in his chest pocket like this. And when Wee Tom leant back, he could feel his uncle's heart there. He knew he was safe. He was holding on. And they followed the production line from the grinding of the beans and the separation of the different components. And then the syrup that gets made into chocolate. And then the adding of the milk and the sugar. Oh, so lovely, right? And then they saw this just brown, syrupy liquids just pouring, pouring, pouring. Wee Tom wished that he was a chameleon and he could stick out his tongue and lick it. Oh, what? How are we to do that? Fountains of chocolate. And it was so, the remarkable thing was, it was so smooth. And he loved it. He said, oh, Uncle Dan, I wish you had a job here and I could come here every day. Uncle Dan's pal, Archie, who's the he's a kind of factotum in these stories. Sometimes he's giving out deck chairs on the sandcastle competition. Sometimes he works at the zoo. In this story, he's working in the Easter egg factory. Well, it was just absolutely splendid. He said, the thing is, wee Tom, sometimes we don't make Easter eggs. It's only at this time of year. Other times we make chocolate money. Other times we just make chocolate bars. We make chocolate teddies. We make chocolate gifts. We make boxes of chocolates. It's not just Easter eggs all the time. And then wee Tom saw the cups of the eggs getting made and moulded like this. He was leaning out more and more and more and leaning over, still wishing that he was a chameleon, when he saw the cups being the bottom cup, the top cup, and turned over. And the turning over was through a tiny little extra increase in temperature that seals the two eggs together. Bottom cup, top cup, turn it over, and wrapped in foil. And there was all kinds of foil going on there. Red is wee Tom's favourite colour, which is why when I'm telling wee Tom stories, I always wear something red. My sock. But I was telling stories today in school, so yeah, a red t-shirt. And this sock, you'll see a wee bit of Santa. So there's always something red for wee Tom, for it is his favourite colour. And there was red foil there. And just as luck would have it, wee Tom was looking right out, the bottom cup, the top cup, and wrapped in red foil, when wee Tom let go and fell right out of his uncle's hand like this, right out of his pocket, right into the conveyor belt, cupped up, sealed up, wrapped in foil, into a box. And Uncle Dan didn't know. Wee Tom made a noise as he fell, and the noise was, ah! But he's only that size. So all anybody could hear would be, and when they went to the next place, which was the dispatch area, Uncle Dan said to wee Tom, now we'll see all where these places. Uncle Dan was frozen stiff like this. Wee Tom wasn't there. Where's wee Tom? Archie, where's wee Tom? Let's have a look. They looked all over the place. They couldn't find him. And then Uncle Dan, who knows a thing or two, said, I bet you he's fallen into this machinery. We'll need to go down there and look. Can't go down there, said the factory manager. Nope, sorry. Stop. We can't stop the production line. There's over 1 million children waiting on these eggs, and we can't just stop these eggs getting made for one naughty boy. I'll get the workers there to have a look. And the workers there had a look. And there was no sign of wee Tom. Wee Tom's mum is Uncle Dan's sister, and I've got 5 sisters. I know about sisters. So that was it. What do you do? Well, Uncle Dan and wee Tom are quite celebrities. They're very well known. They get asked to go and look at dog shows or to open bridges or shops or judge flower shows or anyway, this day they had been asked to go to the guides and the scouts were having a joint fancy dress party. And wee Tom and Uncle Dan had been asked to go there to judge. Well, Uncle Dan couldn't let all these children down. They had to get people in. They'll have to wait till this production line stops. They'll have to get a dog in there, police dog, to smell and find wee Tom. And Uncle Dan had to go to the fancy dress show. And on his way to the fancy dress show, he's thinking all the time, where am I going to go? How am I going to get this wee boy back? Where is he? Did I put his wee radio tracker? Did I put that on his belt loop? Because if I did, I could maybe find him. And Uncle Dan got out his mobile phone. My mobile phone is also red. He got out his phone, had a wee look, see if he could find the wee boy. The tracker was on, but the signal was very, very weak. Oh, well, he's not in the factory. He's on the motorway. Uncle Dan went to the fancy dress party, to the display, and and he really didn't, his mind wasn't on the costumes for the scouts or the guides because his mind was other places. There was even wee ones there. There was cubs and brownies. And the costumes were really very good. One troop of cubs made themselves into, because this is the year of the dragon, into a little dragon. And all these wee boys were inside this costume. And all their legs together, all matching, it looked like a real, it didn't look like a real dragon, but it looked like a real Chinese dragon. Oh, this is just really remarkable. And Uncle Dan just said, yeah, give the first prize to that one. His mind was on the job and not on the job, but this one really tickled his fancy. And he said, yeah, they should get the top prize. And they gave out 10 Easter eggs from a box of 12. All the Easter eggs, as you can imagine, were from that factory. They were all wrapped in red foil. And Uncle Dan said to these wee boys, well, I think you should take these eggs, give them a crack, and see what's in them. So, you don't need to tell boys twice to open Easter eggs. And there was a cricking, and there was a cracking, and there was a cricking, and there was a cracking, and balloons went up, and things were going on, and those boys opened those eggs. Don't be so naive. There was no any wee Tom in any of these eggs. But Uncle Dan looked, and Archie looked. And the guy who was in charge of that costume said, oh, Uncle Dan, thanks very much. That's great. And we've got this box of Easter eggs here, and we've given 10 out. But look, there's 12 eggs in it. There's one for you and one for your pal. Uncle Dan and Archie got the eggs. They opened them. Archie first. Gave it a wee rattle. Nothing inside it. Gave it a crack open. Hollow. Uncle Dan did the same thing. He did a juggle with his. Oh, by the way, Uncle Dan's very talented. He can juggle. He can even juggle with things that are on fire. These special, you get special gloves, and then you put balls on fire, and then you can throw them in the air. And he's up to wee Tom's favourite number because he's got 5 names. Thomas, Patrick, James, O'Neill. Mrs. O'Neill, she died. Thumb. 5. He can even 5 balls in the air like that. He can tightrope walk. He can fence. He can speak foreign languages. Uncle Dan's smart. And he got that box. Well, he gave it a shake. Nah, nothing happening in there. But he likes chocolate. He opened the box. cracked the egg, and opened it. And stuck inside was wee Tom, fast asleep. And he looked at that wee boy lying in that wee chocolate bed like this, just lying there, and said, "Oh my, wee Tom, you're fast asleep. What are you thinking about, dreaming about, worrying about in that wee place? That's been a great adventure you've been on. When you waken up, I want you to tell me all about it. And if I see you guys sometime later, I'll tell you what wee Tom was thinking about when he was wrapped inside that chocolate egg. But I'm not telling you that now, for that's another story for another time." So that's a new story for wee Tom, and with it you get, oh, where's the bally thing? I don't know how to open this. What have I done? Help me, somebody. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Gotcha. Right, I gotcha.
What you doing?
Okay, so if you're interested in an image of wee Tom, I can send this to you if you email it to, if you send me or get me through the emails or whatever, and I can send you that image of wee Tom. Oh, I can't see it here. Oh, I know where it is. There you go. I can send you this if you would like to colour it in. And there you'll see an example of, you just see Uncle Dan's big boots, but you'll never see all of wee Tom, or all of Uncle Dan. Wee Tom always wears something red. His name is always written in red. So there's a wee Tom's Easter egg hunt there. And that's it. Please don't feel obliged to put your age. It's not necessary. I hope you enjoyed that. And there we are, John Rowe. What about me? 1859 with 1 minute to go. I'm bang on time.
I think John's already left, Michael.
I don't blame him.
Will you send me a couple of those cards for my grandkids?
Oh, it's not a card, Rona. It's just an image. I can just send you the link.
Yeah, I'll make the cards, yeah.
Sure.
Well
So
done.
thanks for that.
Thank you, Michael. In Italian, it's pollicino.
Sì, davvero.
And I'll use the activity with my students. Thank you.
Dove? In Italia? Dove li giorni?
Firenze.
Prossimo mese io ho visto la città di Verona in mai.
Bella.
Per una vacanza.
Bello.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you know any storytellers there, Manuela?
Well, if you consider me a storyteller, yeah.
Do you know any in Verona, della città di Verona?
Yes, not
Or be
storytellers,
in
but
touch?
people involved in storytelling. So yes, do get in touch.
So I'm going to the opera. I'm going for a week's holiday with my wife. We'll be celebrating 45 years of marriage, as she says, if you're lucky.
Wow.
So,
Congratulations.
well, we're not there yet. Anyway, so I hope you guys who don't know wee Tom got to know wee Tom. And I'll see you somewhere on the internet, if not in real life.
A presto, ti aspetto.
Davvero. Ok, buonanotte tutti.
Buonanotte, good night.
Sir Louis, good night. We're clear. Bonsoir.
Bye, Louis. Bye,
Yeah.
Louis.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Michael. Good night.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good night. Oh, hi, Mike. How you doing? Good night.
Safe journey to everyone.
Safe journey, guys.
Say
Bye-bye.
bye. See you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very
See you,
much,
bye.
Michael.
Thank
Thank
Bye.
you, Michael. See you soon.
Bye-bye, Manuela.
Bye. Bye,
Bye,
Lucy.
Norman.
Hi,
Bye.
Norman, and bye, Norman.
Okay.
Where do we send? I'll find out where to send the money later.
Yeah, I'll send you a link, Norman.
Where are
Please
you
do.
based
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna squeeze
Yeah.
my friends for the
Good to
lemons
see
they
you.
are.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's a good idea. I
You know Pontrelli?
like that.
Sorry?
Do you know Pontrelli?
Pontrepoli, is that near in the south?
No, it's in Massa Carrara, Tuscany.
Ah,
Yeah.
Massa Carrara, that's very close to me.
Is it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
know because I visited Firenze.
Yeah, yeah. Massa's close.
I'm in the mountains in Cervara.
All
It's
right. I'll
beautiful.
let you know next time I'm in Massa. Let's connect.
Yeah. Well, I'm back in the UK at the moment. I've been back and
Okay.
forward quite a bit. But anyway, it would be nice
Yeah.
to get in touch because
Good.
to myself, I need to find the other storytellers over there
Yeah.
and get together. Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, lovely. I love the Scottish stories as well. Ciao.
Good night. Ciao, Bella. There we go.